special presenter. We have a special presenter today, and we will. I'm going to let him tell you all about himself and what Square does in just a little bit. So I just want to first thank all our sponsors here, the USDA Rural Development, the U.S. Small Business Administration, and the California Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. They provide funding for IDRS to allow us to put on these presentations. So we want to thank them for all their support. Also want to let you guys know a little bit who we are. We're Indian Dispute Resolution Services. We go by IDRS. On the left-hand side, you'll see our logo for the IDRS Acorn Project. The IDRS Acorn Project is IDRS's microenterprise development program, and we provide training and technical assistance to help you grow and start your business. We focus on Native entrepreneurs and Native artists, and all our services are provided totally free of charge. We have a website for our organization, which is the last part of my, I'll actually circle it here. Let's see if I can get it here. Hold on to my little, this PowerPoint gives you all these tools. So there's that's idrsinc.org. That's our website for our organization, but we have built a website for our entrepreneurs, and that's nativebiz.org. So at nativebiz.org, we have all our events we post there. You can request technical assistance, and we provide information on things like grants and other things of important information for entrepreneurs. And like I said before, all our services are free of charge. So please check us out there. And of course, if you want to contact me, that's my email address. And it'll also be on the next slide here. I'm the executive director at IDRS. We're located in California, in Plymouth, just southeast of Sacramento. Is our phone number. If you want to reach us by telephone, or feel free to email us. And we also have Lynn on the line as well. Lynn is our micro enterprise development specialist. I also see Camille is on the line as well as an attendee. Camille is our youth program manager. So we have basically the whole team. If we had Roxanne Best as our social media manager, she just got out of the hospital, so we're thinking about her. If we had Roxanne on, we'd have the whole Acorn Project team with us. But in any event, that is the IDRS team and information about us, and we'll have our contact information a little bit later in the presentation. But now what I want to do is I want to introduce Martin Guerrero. Martin's a member of the Small Business and Community Advocacy team at Square. And, I came to know Martin because Martin has been presenting information about Square. I mean, of course, he works for Square, but he's been presenting these webinars all over Indian country. He lives on the Gila River Reservation down in Arizona. And I saw him present at Navajo because we work with organizations out in Tuba City, and I saw him presenting for a small business incubator they had out there. And then I was presenting at the Indigenous Red Market in Oakland, California, just a little bit ago. And Martin did a Square presentation to get all the vendors up on Square the day before the Red Market. So so Square can be a really powerful tool. And Martin's been spreading the gospel of Square all throughout Indian country. So we wanted to make sure if he's doing it in Indian country, we had him here for our folks on the IDRS Acorn Project. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Martin, allow him to share his screen and tell you a little bit more about him. So Martin, welcome.
Hey, Mark, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Yeah, we've kind of crossed paths in a couple different ways there. And that tends to happen because I'll do events and it's like, oh, well, I saw you here or there. So a lot of crossover there, which is great to see because folks are really helping each other out all across the nation there. So like Mark said, my name is Martin Guerrero, member of the Small Business and Community Advocacy team here at Square. Really what that means is I get to make friends out in the world there and help them with whatever they need to get up and running with Square. a lot of small business, a lot of entrepreneurship on the reservations and tribal lands across the country, and we do work in Canada as well. A lot of Indigenous folks up there. So we see a lot of small businesses, entrepreneurs there that need to get started. And of course, since COVID, right? Not many people carrying a lot of cash around. So being a cash only business, which you saw a large percentage of Indian country businesses being, is not something you can continue to do and continue to expect success. So being able to take payments in multiple ways is going to only be to a business's advantage. So today we're going to talk about all things Square. You probably know us, right? If you know Square, you probably know us from this little white reader, being able to swipe a credit card anywhere. And we're going to see that you'll probably see that a lot of things you didn't know that we offer for a small business. So we're just going to go a general overview over everything we offer. Just to give you some information about that. And if you're interested, you can always go to our website to learn more about that. But a little background on Square, and just if you're not familiar with Square, who Square is, we were founded in 2009 by Jack Dorsey and Jim McKelvey, both from St. Louis, Missouri natives. Prior to founding Square, Jim was a glass artist, and he still is a glass artist, and had a custom glass blowing business. His art pieces ranged anywhere from $500 on up. And he had lost several sales because he couldn't accept credit card payments, right? He was a small business, and back then, getting a credit card terminal was a painful process. Lots of paperwork, application took a long time, banks asking for multiple credit checks, a lot of financial history, right? All in order to get this terminal. And once he and Jim went through that process, or he and Jack went through that process. It took a long time to happen. And once they actually got their terminal, their first payment actually got held up, and they really weren't sure what they were paying, right? They were locked into a contract. Their rates varied amongst different cards and times. It was just very exclusionary. It felt very unfair to a small business. And so out of that frustration, they built Square. And so they joined forces to build an honest financial network for everyone. Let me share my screen here.
Martin, I just wanted to come back in and say you are muted and muted when you shared your screen. I think you had experienced that previously.
Yeah, for some odd reason, it stops my audio when I share.
Oh, there's well, try it again. And if worse comes to worse, you can email me the presentation and I'll throw it up and throw it up on the screen, and I'll do the slide and you just say next slide if worse comes to worse.
Okay, I'm gonna try to share it right now. And it said at one point I think the host would have to unmute me. So let me try it.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I'll try. I'll work on that too. Let's see here. Let's see. It is asking. I'm supposed to ask you to unmute. I don't know that I can unmute you. Let me make you a co-host and see if that does anything. Yes, I'm going to make you a co-host. Okay, now I think you're good to go.
Let me start and stop again here.
Don't you love the technical? Apologize, everybody. We thought we had all this before the meeting, and now we have, experienced this. This is totally new. I've never seen this before. Nothing. It's not allowing you to unmute. Oh, it says you're unmuted. Want to say something? No, I cannot hear you though. It says you're unmuted, but it says you're unmuted, but it's We're not hearing you.
So Mark, this is Lynn. I would suggest one of two things. Either he does email you the presentation or he joins by phone for the audio portion.
Oh, okay. Martin, either of those could do either of those. Yeah, I don't.
It's so odd. I've never had that happen before.
Yeah, that's totally new to me as well. We apologize, everybody, because we thought we had practiced ahead of time before everybody got on this morning. Everything was working fine, and now Zoom does it to us again. I'm sure everybody has experienced this as we've gone through. Martin, do you have
joining by phone here?
Yeah, do you have the registration link, the numbers?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I wish I had some interlude music. I know Lynn hates it when I play the music online, but you know.
Well, you're welcome to sing if you like.
Dun, 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 you know, just get people in the groove here, you know. It's like one of those things, you know, I like if you guys, this is a movie, I'm going to date myself, but this was Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and they were like married, but they were like assassins or something. And I just remember there was all this fighting, but when they were in the elevator, they had an elevator music and it just, you know, just calmed everybody down. And then of course they got out of the elevator and started fighting again. So pretend you're in the elevator and you're hearing some nice elevator music as we dive in. Let's see here. And I'm looking here for Martin's phone. As soon as he dials in, I'm going to allow him to talk. There, I believe that's him. Martin, is that you? You're muted on the phone. Oh, there he goes.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. That is so weird. I mean, never had that happen on Zoom. Okay, you guys can see the presentation now?
It is starting, but I am not seeing it as of yet. It says Martin Gura has started screen sharing. There it goes.
All right.
Oh, yes, we're good to go. Oh, we don't get to see your face, but at least we hear you. That's the most important thing.
I can do my video. That's fine.
Oh, no, I think what will happen is it's just showing the picture of the phone because that's where it's hearing the voice from. So it's good.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I think that's where I stopped. So Jack and Jim, right? They joined forces and founded Square with this mission to build an honest financial network for everyone, with our purpose being economic empowerment, and that means building, you know, all the accessible tools so our sellers can have peace of mind in managing their business and selling anywhere, anytime. Our tools help really all types of business owners, you know, and it helps them thrive and participate in the economy. And today, like I said, we're going to be sharing with you just about all of the tools in our toolkit. So, you know, what does that look like in practice, right? Starting a more inclusive, you know, payment experience for all types of businesses. Most of you, you know, if you're a business owner, you know, running a business is not easy, right? It's not a walk in the park, and how tricky it really used to be, and can even be today, you know, to piece together all these different types of hardware, software, you know, and payment services with pen and paper solutions, right? This slide always reminds me of my dad. When I was in high school, he started his own business, and back then, you know, the most high-tech thing he had was a fax machine, and just paper everywhere, right? Paper time cards for his employees, invoices, receipts for every purchase he made, just stacks and stacks of paper all over the place. And so, you know, really, really difficult to get a really complete picture of how your business is doing when everything is in just all of these different places. And so Square set out to make, you know, business operations more digital, real time, and all integrated with one another, all in one platform, to really give you a really a holistic view of your business and allow you to make more informed decisions about your business. So talking about what really set us apart and really revolutionized the industry, Square made it easy to get started and get started fast. Right? No standing in lines, no filling out forms, no long application process, and best of all, no extra fees, no long-term contracts, right? And no tricks involved that really used to be kind of par for the course back in the day. You sign up just like any consumer product, right? You can jump on your phone, download the app, and create an account instantly, whenever, wherever you're at, even if it's in the middle of the night. And the reason we were able to do this is because we took a different approach to managing risk. We stand in our seller's shoes as the merchant of record, which just allows us to onboard individuals who normally or otherwise wouldn't be able to join the card payments ecosystem. And so when Square started, right, going back to Jack and Jim's experience, with Square, it's one rate for every single card. So for most folks that don't know or haven't had to deal with it, for most other merchant services, if someone comes in with a rewards card, like an airlines card or like an Amex that gives you, so many points for things, you as the business owner pay a higher rate for that transaction. The customer themselves, no difference for them. They get their rewards points and eventually turn in those points for airline miles or airline tickets or whatever that might be, but you as the business owner are fronting that cost. So your normal rate might be a certain percentage, but when someone uses a special card like that, right, that rate goes up much higher. So with Square, it's the one rate for every card, whether it's a swipe, dip, or tap, in-person payments there. And again, like we mentioned, no startup fees, no contracts. We do offer dispute management for chargebacks. And then again, you have support via phone, email, and live chat as well. And then we take one important note there is we take care of your PCI compliance, which is your data security, so you don't have to. That's normally a separate fee or a separate service for most other industry providers. So talking about payments, right? Talking about the way some of the more popular ways folks take payments, for credit cards, and that's via our hardware. And so much of our early history revolved around this iconic white reader that you've probably had your card swiped on before, or maybe even used yourself. And this reader to this day still solves the most critical need of really any business owner, which is being able to take a payment at any time. And so, like I said, early on, business owners really had long had to deal with clunky, outdated payments hardware that never spoke with their software. In addition to this, they were getting charged, exorbitant monthly fees tied into 3 to 4 year leasing contracts for hardware for the credit card terminals, and then again faced with really hard to understand rates. Square's response to that was a full range of hardware, all of which intend on empowering our sellers of any shape or size with modern integrated products that are easy to get started with and to grow with as well. So like I mentioned, the little white reader here, right, you've got it in both the aux and now the lightning cable. But what really has taken off is our contactless chip reader here. And actually I have one here on my desk here. So you can see it's a Bluetooth reader. So it's the next generation of the Square little white reader, right? So you can take chip cards and you can do Apple Pay, Google Pay as well. And again, it's Bluetooth, so it doesn't matter what kind of phone you have. And again, it's portable. It can be socially distanced. It can be on the counter there. Someone can just grab it, insert their card, or again, tap their phone or a card with NFC payments for anything like that. And then a really, really popular reader for us for that. Mark, you probably saw that at the Red Market there. That was what we donated for those vendors there to be able to take payments safely. Another one of our iconic products here is the Square Stand that you've probably seen in many a coffee shop or cafe. This is the stand which comes with the Bluetooth reader as well, but it comes in a dock, so it can sit on the counter without moving around. Again, you just add your iPad here for a fully functional point of sale system, and this has worked for literally, over 2 million businesses now. Really simple, really easy to get started with. The Square Register is our first all-in-one solution there, where it's got the built-in tablet right? It's got the customer facing screen there. So right out of the box, you have everything you need. You don't need to add an iPad or anything like that. It's got everything built into it. And again, this piece here detaches, so it can be, separated and give it a little distance there for social distancing. And again, the customer can insert or tap their card there and also swipe as well. The Square Terminal here is the all-in-one reader here. You can actually have one of those here as well. Handheld, portable, right? So same thing, chip cards, swipe, tap, so Apple, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, anything like that. It has a built-in printer as well. Been really, really popular for tableside dining, right? For those folks that are doing, outdoor dining in order to be outside in fresh air and kind of avoiding some of those COVID restrictions there. Really, really popular hardware piece there. So, and because every business, yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could just break in. I just wanted to ask. So on the one, I'm forgetting what it's called. It's not the register, but the one to the left of it. Is it iPad only? Is that the only device that you guys? And is it a certain iPad that you guys need?
So for the stand, it's iPad. It is iPad only. We do have different sizes available. So when you actually order one, it'll ask what iPad you have, what generation you have, to get you the right one. We do have it for like the bigger. They have the Max, the Pro. I think it's the iPad Pros now, right? They have the bigger screens. So we have it available for multiple sizes. But it is for iPad only.
And what about for cost of the different devices?
I can go over that. When I do the overview, I don't usually like to go over cost because I'm not a sales rep. So
okay, got
my job,
it.
right,
Okay.
isn't to sell you guys. These readers here on our website here, I think you get your first one free when you set up an account, but normally they'd be $10. The contactless chip reader here, that's $49, and it actually comes with usually comes with the MagStripe reader. If someone's just getting started, I would always recommend starting here because it's just so flexible, right? You can be on the go, you can have it at your table in your store, and then if you really want more of it, and like I said, that's $49. I think it's either Costco or Sam's or maybe both. We offer Square hardware there as well. I think it's like maybe $38-40 there.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a deal there, the Square stand is $169, and like I said, that's minus the iPad. So whatever, if you already have one, great. You can plug it into there. If you need to buy one, you would have that cost as well. The Square Register is $799, and again, that's got the tablet already built into it, and the detachable piece there, and then the terminal is $299. And so once you buy it, it's yours. There's no other monthly fees or contracts or anything like that. When you buy through the Square website, we do offer some no interest financing, so you can pay it in payments there as well. You can go to, I think Amazon offers it, like Staples or Office Max. If I know one of those probably doesn't exist anymore, but we offer it through there as well.
Yeah, and all and they're, because they don't, like with the iPad, right? As long as it's fully charged, it doesn't require you to be plugged in. So all these, and even the register, does that, like, can you take these out if you wanted to have a more, let's say, a more slick solution where you're not pulling out your telephone? Can you take any of these out and be a remote vendor with them as well?
If you want to do that, your best two options are going to be the contactless chip reader and the terminal. Right?
Okay.
The stand is going to be a little more clunky to have out and about. You usually see those on food trucks because they'll mount it up and they have power to it. The register I wouldn't recommend for portable use. It's more of a countertop type device. But yeah, for portability, these are going to be your best options. This one I love, like I said, this super portable. I mean, it charges, it's all day battery, essentially goes to sleep. When you're not using it, like I said, it's super. Almost every debit or credit card has a chip card in it now, and that gives you a more secure transaction and better protection against chargeback.
Okay, great. Oh, and I forgot to say it when I first started the webinar. I want to encourage everybody to ask a lot of questions. We'll make sure we get them answered. Throw them in the chat box, and we'll and like I said, we want to make sure that everybody's getting their needs taken care of today. So, all right, back to you, Martin. Sorry about that.
Absolutely. So yeah, please ask questions. A chargeback, someone already has a question here. A chargeback would be a customer of yours contacting their bank and telling them that they didn't authorize that charge. They're charging it back. So they would charge it back to you as the business owner if you're not able to prove that you did in fact, take that payment. So that would be, they're saying either it was fraud or maybe they had some sort of dispute. A lot of folks will, instead of properly disputing it, they'll just say, it was fraudulent, which causes you as the merchant problems. But again, that's why I highly recommend the chip reader, because the card has to be physically present there, right? So if the card wasn't already, if the card was reported stolen, when we go to process it, it's going to get rejected. If it hasn't been reported as stolen, the card is physically there. You're processing it with the chip, which is pretty much, you can't duplicate that. It's really, really difficult for someone to dispute that charge. Good question. All right, so that's hardware. So then we talk about point of sale software, right? And there's a lot of different businesses out there. So most of them have different needs. We do have the original Square point of sale software, which you can download on an iPad, on an Android device, on your phone. I actually have it here on my phone, right? So you can download it on your phone. And this point of sale software is completely free. You can do categories. You can see how you can add images there. This is by far our most popular software out there. Again, literally, over it's almost 3 million businesses now globally using this free point of sale software. Serves really any kind of business there. We do have some industry specific software like our restaurant point of sale here that lets you, it helps you with the front of the house, back of the house, for pickups, deliveries, right? Better inventory management for menu and floor management options there as well. Restaurant specific reports like covers, comps, voids, things like that to keep an eye on your employees. We also offer as a software here our Square Kitchen Display System. This is fairly new as an option to the Square for restaurants, right? This is more for the back of the house, a restaurant where they can see the orders and they can start putting those together, marking them as ready, done, right, in process, things like that. Kind of just an add-on to that. Square for Retail, right, really designed to help retail stores sell in-store and online seamlessly with built-in tools for advanced inventory management, sales, staffing, right, know how much inventory you're moving and how much money you're making in minutes with real-time reports. And again, that seamlessly integrates with Square Online for all of your inventory and orders. Square Appointments, a really powerful appointment scheduling software. All your services are instantly bookable by your customers on your free online booking website or booking links on Google and Instagram. So if you have a business Instagram account, you can add a Book Now button there, or on your Google My Business listing, you can have a Book Now button through Google, which all goes through your appointments page as well. And it's really just to help protect your time and your business. You can require a full prepayment up front, or you can charge a cancellation fee to help reduce no-shows. So this would be for those folks that are selling blocks of time, right? Think barbershops, salons, consultations, really anything where you're selling these blocks of time versus just a straight up physical good or service. And then so no matter what stage you're in, we make it really easy to take your business online, and get started easy, quickly, and start selling online with pickup, delivery, and shipping options as well, right? So you have automatic sync, which seems seamless integration with your point of sale. So whether you're selling in person or online, right, all those orders, all that inventory is all going into one place. So it's not like, I'm sold out on my site, now I got to do this. Everything is in sync, so everything's always talking to each other. It makes it really easy to have an omni-channel solution, right? So you can sell at fairs, festivals, in-store if you have a brick and mortar, and then have your online website for that with options for shipping, curbside pickup, local delivery, and then you can do contactless delivery as well, contactless options there. Really simple, really easy website builder that's mobile first. So it helps you build a mobile friendly website right out the box. Nothing extra you have to do in order to do that. You also have the ability to sell on social media. So Facebook, which owns Instagram, right? So you can connect your Facebook account and have a Facebook shop and an Instagram shop as well. So if you have and this is a free integration. This is extra on some other platforms. So if you're on Instagram, you'll see posts that get tagged with like the little shopping bag on there that lets you do that same exact thing. And again, whether they're buying from your Instagram page, your Facebook page, your website, your in-store or in person, all of that is syncing. All your orders are in one place. All your reporting, all your data is all in one place. And then so, when you're selling online, offline, and all these other methods that we're going to talk over here in a minute, all of our accounts come with the dashboard, which is business, puts all your business data in one place. It's business intelligence software, and it comes free with your Square account. So from real-time reports to customer contacts, you have everything at your fingertips to make good business decisions and really help to plan for the future. You can check Square Analytics anytime to get a handle on sales, your customers, orders, right? You can spot what's selling. It breaks the sales down to the item, to the channel, right? So you can see, okay, your cash sales, your card sales, invoice sales, gift card sales, any of that breakdown, you can get really, really granular. So the more data, you put in, the more more reporting data we're able to give you, and you get, daily reports there as well. And again, this is, when you create an account, this is automatically included. So as you start building up your business, all that data starts building up. You can see, like, if you were to start today, right, and you ran a sale, you could compare that to next year and say, wow, from last year to this year, I can see huge difference, or I can see halfway through the year, I can see, man, this specific item that I have is really selling. These items here don't sell very much. Maybe I need to stop carrying those to not have this dead inventory around. I really want to sell, the items that are popular with folks. So just tons of data there for you. I'll stop there right now before I move on to some of the outer stuff that kind of sinks in there. If we have any questions, I know that kind of a lot to go over, and we still have a bit to go through. So that's just, hardware, software, online, and then, like I said, we're going to go into more of the peripheral options as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat there. Mark, if you've received any questions, feel free to throw them out there as well.
Well, so I actually had a question because I use Square with a business that I work with. And one of the things that we're using is the virtual terminal. I don't know if you mentioned the virtual terminal. You mentioned the security of taking the card in person, but I know that some people that are, especially a lot of native artists that we have, they sell using Facebook, but not formally, right? That they're just putting it up on their Facebook feed when they have something. Maybe it's beaded earrings, and they throw it up and they say, "Who would like it?" Now, the virtual terminal that allows you to accept payments remotely by typing in the number. And one of the cool things that I like about Square is that I know that other solutions, other different, other credit card processors, they offer a virtual terminal, but like PayPal, for instance, they charge you, and I think it's $40 a month. Is what you have. And if you're not doing a lot of business, $40 a month may take up your whole profit. Whereas Square, it's totally free of charge to do the virtual terminal. So I don't know if there's more you have on the virtual terminal, but I wanted to mention that as a way to take payments. So
yeah, the virtual terminal essentially it's the point of sale from your laptop, right? Logging in right into your account and being able to type that in. I don't actually go over the virtual terminal in this presentation, so thanks for bringing that up. I like some of the more other options, and that's a good segue there. So we'll kind of talk about card present and card not present transactions. So, a card present transaction is going to be, right, you've got a reader, someone hands you a card, you're processing that. That's a card present transaction. Less likelihood of there being fraud, because if someone, finds out their card is missing or stolen, they report it as stolen. That's updated pretty instantly, and those get rejected, right away. So that's a card present transaction, and that's going to be usually your lowest rate. You have card not present transaction, which would be like the virtual terminal, or you maybe using the Square point of sale, and someone giving you the card number and you typing it in. That's a card not present transaction. You can take those, that's not a problem, but you do get a higher fee because there's more risk of fraud there, especially if it's someone you don't know, right? Someone you're doing business with the first time saying, oh, I can just read you the card number, right? That's kind of a red flag, because that's going to be a riskier transaction. The virtual terminal works for that because that's that little higher rate. And then you have online transactions, which e-commerce, right? Everyone has a website out there. You're able to do that. So that's kind of in the middle between a card present, card not present, because it's so prevalent. That's going to be a lower rate than card not present. So I would recommend those options first. And I'll actually do a demo of a new way. I love that you mentioned, folks posting on Facebook or something like that. My wife buys tons of beaded earrings, and these folks normally won't have a way to pay, or they'll be like, oh, pay me by a PayPal or something like that. And, it's just a little riskier, but it's folks you've done business with a lot. So I'll actually do a demo, because I see that a lot of folks posting on Instagram, hey, these are for sale, DM me for details, and then they set up maybe a phone call for a payment or something like that, which is
Right,
a little riskier.
Right, Venmo or something like that, which is not, with Venmo, a lot of people don't realize, but once you send that transaction in Venmo, there's no coming back, right? So if you send it to the wrong person, that you don't get the money back. It's up to the person that you send it to, if it's a wrong transaction, to get the money back. That's the nice thing with credit card payments, right? The person that, so we always, in our financial literacy classes, we always recommend paying with credit cards as opposed to like a debit card, because you have challenge rights, right? There's laws that the Congress has given credit card processors. And so be thinking about that, because you as taking those credit cards, that provides a little bit higher level of security for the people that are purchasing from you. And those are things that you might want to emphasize as you're making those transactions. I did have a question. I actually have there's one in the chat box. Deborah mentioned that Square is an all-in-one process, a website order shipping process. Now, I don't know, she said, did you mention that? I know you were just talking about, and this may be along the same lines. So if you know something about Deborah, if you could say more about that process. But my barber, you mentioned barbers. My barber uses Square, and I was just wondering. And so he uses the booking, and then when you get there, you actually pay depending on the services that you have. I was just wondering, is there an extra cost for using those like booking services, or is that all included? Or and I know you're not the salesperson, but I'm just always wondering, what kind of services, because that's a really cool feature to be able to have everything all in one and be able to operate your business that way.
Yeah, I love Square Appointments for that, because if you're a solo sole proprietor, if it's just you, Square Appointments is free, so you can have the booking page and connect to your Instagram and your Google listing. That's all free, so you can have the website up for them to book. That's free, right? There's just a transaction when they process the card. So like you said, I can go online to go to my barber, book the haircut. He can either make me pay up front or or not, and then I just pay when I'm in person there. Most do it, pay in person, because then, hey, do you want to buy a comb or some hair product, pomade, or whatever, or add a service, right? A shave or something like that. And then, when I'm done, he's using, the Square Appointment software to then, tally that up and then charge my card. So for a solo person, it's free minus, the card transaction. There's a monthly fee. I think it's like $25 if you're 1 to 5 people, like, because you can have multiple folks. And if you want, I can show an example of something like that as well. But it's a great tool.
Yeah, and so I would, so anybody that's running a service-based business out there. So if you're a masseuse, I know we've had masseuses in our classes. We've had, people that are stylists, and they're going to people's homes. This is a real easy way, and obviously very inexpensive as it's free, to raise your level of professionability, your professionalism, right? Now you get a website. It's not a fully, I mean, it's a fully built website. I mean, but it may not have your own domain and everything, but it's a really cool way to kind of get something online that is very easy to manage. You don't have to, know all this back end software. Square does a lot of that for you. And then of course
Yep.
you get the payment platform that comes with it. So, I would definitely recommend folks checking that out. It's a really, obviously a low barrier to entry, right? Low cost, very easy to build it up. So,
Yeah, no, you're right. And then let me address Deborah here. So did you mention that Square is an all-in-one website order shipping process? So yeah, with the Square online website, you can integrate UPS, USPS, FedEx, DHL for your shipping provider. And again, that would, when you go through the checkout flow, like you mentioned there, you can charge for shipping, taxes, all of that. So yeah, it's an all-in-one solution, Deborah. Mark, you mentioned, service-based businesses. Invoices are great for that, right? So you can send professional invoices, track them in real time, accept payments online, all from one place. And then you can do automatic billing. And then again, all the reporting data, really easy to send an invoice, right? You create an invoice, enter the customer's name, email, and the amount, and then you send it, right? And they can be one time or reoccurring. And you can do, break it up, you can do a deposit and then, second payment to cover the rest there. So for folks that are doing, estimates, on site or things like that, invoices is a great tool for them on that. I did see something in the QA here. When you don't have Wi-Fi, is it handled as card not present? No. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can, with the terminal, you can do offline mode. And with the MagStripe reader, you can do offline mode, which processes the card, without Wi-Fi. Everything happens like it would normally would. Once you connect to Wi-Fi, then it gets processed. The issue with that is somebody gives you a card that's no good. You won't know that card is not good until you then reconnect to Wi-Fi. As long as you connect to Wi-Fi within, I believe it's 72 hours, right, all that data is stored. And then it processes all those payments. If someone's card failed, you'd have to reach out to that person to then reprocess the payment. So there's that little bit of risk there involved with an offline type of payment. Good question. Some of the other peripheral offers, things that we offer, Square Loyalty, right? So a built-in loyalty program right from the point of sale, thanking your regular customers, right? So think of, coffee shops, gyms, anywhere where people are coming a lot, right? Keeping them coming back with the loyalty program, right? Earning points for every purchase you make, anything like that. It's all electronic, so no, paper punch cards. It's you sign up with the phone number. It also has integration with the Square Cash App. Mark, you mentioned Venmo earlier. If you're not aware, Cash App is like a Venmo competitor. That's owned by That's owned by Square. We also offer the ability to sell gift cards, whether that's plastic gift cards, e-gift cards. Again, all integrated with your in-person, online. They all work together. Easy to sell e-gift cards, real simple, really easy to get going. It was a lifesaver for a lot of folks to be able to sell gift cards when their business was closed and people wanted to support them. We're able to buy a gift card online. The business gets the money up front, right? And then some folks weren't even using the gift card later on. They were just like, I just wanted to support you somehow. So gift cards is a way to do that. It's a way to entice customers as well, right? Give out gift cards to friends and family to introduce them to your business. We also offer marketing abilities, and we have a couple ways to do that to help you reach, your customer base, expand your customers. Number one, email marketing, right? Again, you don't need to be an expert to send beautifully crafted on-brand campaigns. We have templates for you there, and they're usually going to be on point with any upcoming holidays. We'll have some already, like we had the Labor Day one, right? Automatically configured for folks. You just customize it to your colors, images, things like that. So really easy to send those. again, when you're setting up your customers, you can have them give you an email. When they're online, they're giving you an email. All of that goes into your customer directory for folks you're able to do. You can also import an email marketing list if you have one from another email marketing source that you've collected. Don't recommend buying any email marketing lists. That's gonna be causing you to have a lot of spam and being marked as a spammer and not being able to send. So make sure they're folks that are signing up through your website or through your point of sale. Brand new to Square is text message marketing. So email marketing is still a really, really effective way to market to your customers. Everyone now, right, doing everything by text message, really simple, really easy. Text messages that you can do. They can enroll in your program, send text messages for, any upcoming sales, things like that. And all of that is in the Square messages section there. So you can see all your messages in there. If someone replies to an email marketing or to your text messages, or if they have feedback on your electronic receipts, this channel will have everything in there. You can see all of that. You can send them links to pay you via Square messages, which we'll do a demo of here in a little bit. So a lot of ways to be able to market to your customers. Team management. So if you're a business with employees, we have team management, which lets you allow your employees to clock in and out on the point of sale or via a free app that they can download on their own phones. Doing time cards, breaks, things like that. Controlling access to different parts of the system. Right, you don't want them being able to just handle everything and change your bank account or anything like that. We want to give them specific permissions to manage. Maybe they have cashier permissions, maybe they have supervisor permissions to be able to do refunds and things like that. And so all that time card data you can export into whatever payment or payroll processor you're using, or you can use Square Payroll. All right, so all of that is already integrated into Square, right? If you're using team management, right, all of that can just easily roll into your payroll system here. And so you can pay employees, you can pay contractors, right? You can do unlimited payroll runs, so you don't get charged every time you run a payroll. It's just a monthly fee of $29 for that. Unlimited employees, unlimited payroll runs. I thought I talked about it, but I think I answered that one already. Okay. Square Loans. So Square does offer small business loans as well. And I love our loan program here. So loans can be anywhere from $500 up to $100,000. On average, they're like $5,000 to $6,000, which most banks would consider a micro loan, right? Most banks are doing, $25,000 to $50,000 as a small loan. The best part about Square Loans is it's all database. So when you sign up for a Square account, we don't ask you, are you male, female, are you black, white, brown? We don't ask any of that information, right? All we see is a healthy business that's processing cards, a different number of cards. Maybe you're doing in person, you're doing online, you're doing gift cards. We have all that data, right? We see everything that's being run through cash sales that you're running. You can include cash sales when you on the Square point of sale, right? There's no fees for when you take cash, but that goes into your data. Like I said, the more data you put in, the more you're going to get out. So you can break down. Oh, I took $1,000 of cash this weekend versus $5,000 in my card sales. So you can see that breakdown. Again, we don't do anything with your cash. That's just on you. That's more just for reporting. But we can see all of that data. So then we can see, okay, you may log into your account one day and say, hey, we think you would be a great recipient of a loan if that's something you need. And then you can, if we offer you, like in this case here, like a $10,000 loan or $9,000 loan in this example, right? You can move that slider up and down to what you might need. You don't need the whole $9,000. Great. You need $3,600. Select that, and you can see what the fee would be for that and what you're paying. And then you pay daily through your card sale. So it's not a monthly payment that you make. On slow days, you pay less. On busier days, you pay more. Right? It's just coming out of your daily transactions, so you don't ever have to make a payment. You can make payments on it, like if you wanted to pay it off. But again, it just comes daily out of your card sales. Coming as part of Square here, we have the Square card, which is something that we've had for a while now. So instead of having all your money go into a specific bank account, you can have all the money go into your Square your business debit card, which is a MasterCard, and so that money goes into your account daily. So as you're processing sales every day, that money is going onto that card, and you can spend that money same day. So if you need to purchase inventory every day, maybe you're a restaurant, you needing to buy fruits and meat every day, like you could use that money versus having to wait for it, business 1 or 2 business days for your funds to get deposited into your bank account. This is automatic. Every transaction goes into your card immediately. And that business debit card will be a bigger part of the overall Square banking ecosystem, which is live now. I don't have the slides on it yet because it's something I need to catch up on it because there's so much to learn about it. But again, essentially, free business checking, savings, right? Anything you would need for banking needs like that. So that's Square Banking is available now, but I'm not an expert on it yet, so I don't really talk too much in detail about it other than that. All right, so that's the end of the presentation. I did want to do a demo here because you mentioned that scenario where folks are, sending a payment, via instant message or you're just posting it on their Facebook or something like that. We do have what's called online checkout links. So maybe you don't need a full, website. Maybe you just need to be able to send, a payment to someone, right? So you can do that with Square checkout links. So let me show you what that would look like. So this, we're going to get inside the Square account here. And so this is the Square dashboard, right? You can see that. It's letting me know I can use Square Marketing. I don't have any sales. This is my test account, right? So I can take a payment here. So what Mark had mentioned, that's the Square terminal, the virtual terminal, right? I can just go through here and do a payment. And again, that would be manually processing that. But I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I have my items here. So let me go into my items. So I have different items here, right? I have my item library all set up here. So there's Cruiser here. Actually, let me go. I already have a link set up for it, but let's go back to here, online checkout. And again, so this would be a lower fee than the virtual terminal or a card not present transaction. So I can create a checkout link. And so I want to sell an item. Right, let's say I'm going to pick one of my items here. It already has a price associated with it. It's got my description. It's got my image. I can create a link. And so I can do a couple things now with that link. I can text it to someone, and they can then pay that online. And I will actually do a quick demo of that live here. But while I'm doing that, feel free, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat there. All right, so my link is ready to, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so Deborah wanted to check to make sure that the slide deck would be available to participants.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. All right, Deborah, we'll send it out with an email when we're done with the webinar, and we send a link with the recording and everything. So we'll get that to you, Deborah.
Just sign into my account here. All right, so I created a checkout link, and so now you see I've got a couple options here, right? I can copy that link and just copy it. I'm going to post it in the chat there. So then I could, text it to someone. I could send it to them by email. I could, do a couple things with it. Or I can use my Square messages. I can send it via a Square message, right through here versus taking it to my phone. I can create a QR code, and I can just post that QR code up on my Facebook page or my Instagram or Twitter, right? There's a Facebook option here. You can post that right to Facebook, and folks would pay through the link, right? So they would just go right to the page. I didn't switch over to the other screen here. So now let me go back here. So now if I share to Facebook, right, it's going to create a post, right? Through a Facebook account I'm logged in through, I can post that and someone can click on it and purchase it. Now, it's important to note here, right, if you have a specific amount of those items, you want to set that inventory. So if I post it to my Facebook and, you know, I don't have an inventory amount set up, people will just be able to keep buying it versus, you know, if I have my inventory set to, you know, a specific amount, once they reach that amount, it'll stop, it'll be sold, show it's sold out. So like this bike here, right, you can see I have 3 in stock. Once I hit 0, it will you know, it'll still be online, but folks won't be able to make a payment there. So you can see I can also post it to Twitter. It'll automatically give me a Twitter post here. Sorry, I just opened up in a new window there, so it's going to copy it. That automatically then creates a checkout link there for a Twitter post. It makes that real easy. I can also, I'm going to show you what that looks like in the app here. So yeah, this is a great option for folks who don't have a full website, don't need a full website, right? They can easily do checkout links. This makes it easy to do subscriptions as well. So you can create a subscription, and so it can be, you know, you can create the plan. You can do payment method. You can do recurring billing, right? It can be monthly, weekly, anything like that. I think I already had one here. Yeah, so I have my bike tune-ups here. So I have that link for my bike tune-ups. I can send that out. And so it's $25 a month, right? They can see, oh, I have a fake bike shop that I use this as a demo site. You can pay here, right? And then pays $25 a month. That automatically gets charged to them $25 a month. So you could charge subscriptions, right? You could set it up for classes to do, you know, and then you can add a Zoom link in there to do that. So a lot of different ways. You can make a donation link. Lots of different ways you can start selling that way.
You know, I was going to say, yeah, this is an easy method to, like, when you know, you don't want to create a whole store, you can at least have your items online. And we just did a class for a Navajo last night about budgeting. And one of the things we kept talking about that is record keeping. And a lot of people don't have great records, you know, especially very small businesses. And if you get into the habit of being able to send a link for people to purchase every single time, then that you're going to at least have some records about, you know, what was sold, what items were sold, and that allows you to do all kinds of great things with your business, right? Go back and find out which items were hot, right? That allows some business planning. Obviously, you know, you get to do a tracking of what was sold, so now you can do profit margins and things like that. So I can see a lot of things that, you know, where you don't have to go and now have QuickBooks. You can do some back of the envelope calculations just with the information that's in your Square account.
Absolutely. So that's we've actually had folks that were cash only businesses download the Square Point of Sale app, and then they'll use it to take payments. You know, you can do cash. They're obviously not paying anything, but they have a record of the items that they're selling, how much cash they're taking in, and then they can export that and give it to their accountant and be like, here's all my cash sales. And then, of course, all that analytics is there as well. What days they had high sales. They can, you know, associate that with, oh, was I at this festival or this fair, right? They can do that.
Right.
The Square collect taxes on the seller's behalf, like Etsy. So we do collect the taxes. That is something you end up paying. You would set that up. We collect it, and then, you know, you pay those taxes out. That side I have up here is some folks in Albuquerque, New Mexico, New Mexico Community Capital. This is a Square online website that they built, and they're actually using it as like a marketplace for multiple artists to be able to sell. So it's not just theirs, right? So they have a whole bunch of artists that they have. You can see they connected their Instagram account here, So they connected their Facebook Messenger. So they have their shop all page. So they created like a full on website with everything there. And you can see they have categories here, right? You can see this one here out of stock. So if I go to try to buy it, it's still there. I can see it. I can learn more about it, but I can't buy it because it's out of stock, right? Out of item unavailable.
And this is fully on Square.
This is a Square Online website. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, because like one of the things is people talk about like I think that was Cynthia just mentioned Etsy, right? So that's another that's a platform. You know, we often hear about Shopify, but here's Square essentially giving you the ability to run your own store, right? And I mean, and I mean, and is that included as well?
It is. So this one here, mikespikes.square.site. This is a free website. This is one of my test sites. You can see we have a newsletter pop up here for folks to be able to start collecting emails for a newsletter. I've got a simple one-page site here, right? I've got a header here, got some featured products, connected my Instagram, my location, and then I've got my shop all page here for all my bikes. I've got a couple different categories. So this is all done on our free plan. So it's got the mikespikes.square.site address, right? Real simple. I mean, I could add more pages. It's unlimited pages. And again, it's just per transaction. So, you know, when they purchase through that. So you can do retail, right? So let's do this bike here. You know, I can do store pickup, right? So they can buy it online, pay for it, and then they just show up, let me know they're there by text message, and then I can bring it out to them. Or I can ship it to them, right? So I can go shipping, add to cart. And being that I'm in Google Chrome, you can see Google Pay is accepted there. That's automatically integrated as well. Subtotal, checkout. And then so right now we can see our subtotal, shipping and taxes. Nothing there yet because I haven't added in any of my information. Now, being that I've purchased from many Square sellers, my info is already in here. So I can go in, I can say, you know, it's going to send me a code here to enter, because all my info is already saved in Square. And the awesome thing about that is if anyone like on the call right now was to build a website today and bought there tomorrow, as soon as I put my email address in there, the same thing's going to happen. I'm going to get the code. It's going to pre-populate all my information. So that's saved across Square. So any Square website that's out there, if I save my information under SquarePay, I will be able to do that for any Square website. So now it's got my address and yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I really like that because anybody that's having Square, I'm one that as an accountant, I'm always wanting to get my receipts. And if you have your information in Square in there, you don't get to have a physical receipt, because if you're purchasing from a vendor that uses Square, that receipt's going to get emailed to you, so you can be able to track all your purchases as well. So
exactly, yeah. So now that I've added that, right, it pre-populated my address info. So now it added my shipping rate of $50. Right, bikes are heavy, they're big, and my taxes, right? So that automatically added in there for my total. I could apply a coupon code. You can create coupon codes as well, or like I said, a Square gift card, right? And again, here's my saved info. I can do that. So you know, that would be really simple there. Now, let's see. That's my kind of retail example there. Kenny's Burgers.square.site is my restaurant example. So again, we can do multiple verticals, right? So this is a food and beverage type site. I just kind of mimicked it here. My featured menu items, right? A little about us, Instagram, newsletter sign up. But really, what it is I can order now. And so in this specific example, I have two locations. So Kenny's Burgers has a Market Street location, and I have a Mission Street location here. So in each of those, I have one website. I can have 10 locations if I wanted to, or even more. But then each of those locations could have their own menu, right? So I pick which restaurant I want to order from. Are you sure that's where you're picking up from? Yep, confirm. And now I can go in and purchase here. So I can add a burger here, right? So I can add that. I can, do my extra options there, extra cheese, charge for it, add to order. And this would be I can do curbside pickup, right? So it's 11:05 right now. I think I have a 15-minute prep time, so it's going to tell me my order will be ready at 11:20, right? So I can do that, or I can click here to request curbside pickup, and then put in my info here. I'm in, 2000 Toyota Tacoma, whatever, whatever that might be. Just throwing that out there. And again, you can do tipping, right? You can automatically include tip, or you can, I can go in here. If I don't want a tip, I can add no tip, or I can, put in a custom amount, and I can just enter in whatever I want. So really similar process to that, except you have that whole pickup. Now, if I wanted to do delivery, right, I enter my delivery address, and it'll let me know if I can deliver to you, because I would add those parameters, on the back end there of how many miles or what kind of radius I want to do that to.
Yeah, I was going to wonder, have you ever seen anybody utilizing something like this if they're selling at like a powwow or a market, being able to, accept orders from people that are there, so they could have the menu on there, they could pay, and, then people don't have to stand in line. Because I've been to, like when I was at the
Yep.
red market, gosh, the line for people was just like down the block. So just wonder if that was an option.
That's absolutely an option. There's a food truck that I work with here locally. They have a QR code set up on their truck, right? You can scan it, order online, and they're just, taking the orders are just coming in on their. I think they have an iPad Mini there, and they're just scrolling through and going to orders and preparing the food versus I want someone out there taking orders. So yeah, you can absolutely do that to have folks pay online ahead of time.
Got it.
Folks get real creative with that. This one is a barbershop, right? TorontoBarbers.square.site. And again, all three of these sites are all on our free plan. And they're all kind of the same look because that was just me being lazy. But like on this one, I've got home. So in this case, I have two options here. I have a book now, right? And then I've got my barbers here, right? Showcasing them, and then and they can click to book, my services through there, right? So I can book a haircut, continue, right? Time zone, and then I can see here what time. I can pick a date. Cool, I like this time. Then I put in my info, and it's all done electronically, and doing that. And then you can do that with all your barbers there. For this one specifically, I did book now and I did shop now. So I'm gonna have pomade and combs available for sale, right? For folks when they want to come in, and I have it set up for a pickup. You can see this one here has low stock, not out of stock. It's low stock. So if I click on it, small. Cool. So and I can see on this one I actually have it. I have it on sale, right? Normally it's $10. This is a Canadian site. I did it for a Canadian example here, and it's on sale for $8, right? So you can see you can have different options, right? Small, medium, large. Price can change depending on those different sizes. Gift cards, right? So you can sell gift cards, right? Someone can purchase a gift card and they can send it to either themselves, right? Send it to myself, or you can send it to someone else. I have like a contact us page here, right? It's contact form, little photo gallery. So you can add more and more pages. That IndigiExchange one is a really good example because they've got it built out quite a bit. I'll actually add that link in here. Copy.
And one of the cool things about it, like from the barbershop with the with service-based business, it's integrated with the text system that Square has. And so when the appointment's made, you're getting that text on the phone, and there could be reminders sent, but you always have that. So like, it's not just in your email and you have to look on your phone, your email, it's right there in your text message. And, so that's, when I'm booking my barbershop, as soon as I hit book, I get that text message, right? And it'll send me a reminder. Hey, you have a booking coming up in an hour. And I think you get set all those different reminders depending on what's most appropriate for your clientele.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. And the cool thing about that too is you essentially have an account so you can see the Manor Barbershop here, schedule an appointment. so they can book an appointment here, right? So if you sign in, you'll actually have an account, and you'll see like all of your previous appointments and upcoming appointments, and you'll get notifications. So you can see I have a haircut coming up with my barber Edgar on the 27th, and another one on the 11th, right? So I can do that all in advance, and then I can just book a new appointment. And yeah, you'll get email, you'll get a text message reminder immediately. Yeah, actually, you as the business, you can set that up if you want to do text and email, or just text or just email. He does all text, so as soon as I book an appointment, boom, hey, you booked an appointment with us for this date. The day before, I get a text message saying, hey, you have an appointment coming out tomorrow, and then an hour before, I get one as well. And then you as the business, you can actually control that as far as like how much you want to do there.
And what I think is cool is that, you don't have to be a web designer. You don't have to hire somebody. This is all stuff that the Square walks you through very easy. If you use almost any site, if you're on Facebook or any of these other sites, right? And you can post on Facebook, you're going to be able to go through Square and to set all these options up. And so it's not an expensive proposition. This is all built in. So I would encourage anybody, if you're doing this even occasionally, running some service type business where you accept appointments, try Square out, because it might be a game changer for your business.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Are you ready for questions?
Absolutely. Throw questions in there if you've got them. While we're doing that, I'm gonna do another right now. Okay,
so I don't know if anybody else has questions, so please post them in the chat box, or you may, what I ask may encourage your curiosity. But so you mentioned the Square card. I noticed that you guys have a 2 3/4. I'm forgetting what it's basically reward points. Was that accurate? Is that on all purchases?
Yeah, so that's kind of an Easter egg there. So with the Square card, if you make a purchase at any Square vendor, you as the business owner get a discount of 2.75%. That was our original fee, and that was our fee for many years, up until about, I think maybe 2 years ago. It changed to 2.6. But yeah, so it's kind of an Easter egg back to that 2.75 for the longest time. It was always 2.75. So you as that card holder, you make a purchase, you get a discount of 2.75%. The business owner gets the full amount. They're not paying anything extra for that.
But it's only at Square vendors.
At Square vendors, correct.
Square vendors.
Other Square sellers, yep.
Because I was going to say, if
that's
if that's everywhere, that's the best rewards card on the market. I would encourage everybody, drop everything, get that card immediately. So anyway, yes, go ahead. I think Carolyn has a question.
Yep. So I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about collecting taxes and shipping. I have embedded the sales tax within the retail price of my items. So yeah, you can choose not to collect taxes if you want to. I mean, that as a business, you set that up, right? So when you go in there, you set up your taxes, you set up your shipping. That's entirely up to you to do so. So if you're selling something for $50 and you already, and really it's like, $48 and $2 is taxes, so you're just charging $50, that you can absolutely do that. That's entirely up to you as the business owner. I will be shipping the items out, and when I'm taking orders in person, the shipping is tiered: $5 for one, $2 per additional items. I don't know if you can do that on the site. So you can do on the site, when you set up shipping parameters, you can do it shipping a fixed amount per item. You can do it per item quantity. You can do it per the order total. You can do like free shipping rates. So I don't know if it would do like a group discount. So like if you added, I think Carolyn, you're asking if like if I add more items, will the shipping go down? You could do that if you did it shipping per item. You could do that.
I had a question about payroll. You mentioned it's $29 a month. Does that, does Square also file state and federal reports for that?
We do file the taxes for you as well. And we do offer through a third party benefits. So you could offer the employees benefits as well.
Well, I don't know how many people here have employees, but I'll tell you, $29, that may be the lowest fee I've ever heard, because that is a crazy price. I mean, so we run with paychecks, and we're way higher than that. So just want to let you know that there's a lot of value there in the payroll if you guys happen to have employees as well.
Yeah, it's been super popular for that. And actually, we're doing a payroll. I'll email it to you, Mark. I have a partner in Utah that we're doing a payroll webinar on the 16th, next week, the 16th. I think it's done by a Facebook Live. So if you want to throw that out there, you're welcome to. If folks want to learn more about it, I have one of our payroll representatives actually doing a presentation on that.
Okay, great.
Are you seeing the screen right now, but kind of like the phone screen there?
We are. Yep.
Okay, so this is on my iPhone here. And so I've got the Square point of sale system. You can see up top there, it's asking me to connect my reader. I don't have my reader on right now. So I have my item library here, right? I can charge. Let's go to this bike here. I can charge it. So if we go to charge, right? So we can do cash, right? I can just put in the cash amount there. Again, reporting purposes only. We're not charging any fees on that. Right? I can do a manual card entry, right? There's a note there. Hey, this is going to be a higher fee. If I turn, you can see connect the reader to insert, swipe, dip, or tap. So, if I had a reader on, it would tell me to just go ahead and swipe it. I can take a gift card. I can either type in the number, or I can, if I had a swiper in there, I could do that. Card on file, invoice. I could do QR code. So I could do QR code. So like some at a festival, right? I could just show someone the QR code. They could scan it with their phone. They could pay it right then and there on their phone. There's that payment link, right? So maybe, I'm talking with someone, they're like, hey, I want to buy that from you. Cool, let me send you a link to make that payment. So I'm going to send a link. Right, so I just sent them a link. Did I put in the right number?
And I was going to say, for some people that don't know the value of the QR code or the text message, I mean, there's some people that don't even carry credit cards anymore. They pay on their phone with Apple Pay or Google Pay. And with that, they can do all that by their phone. All they have to have is their phone, and they can be they don't have to carry anything but their telephone, and can pay you.
Yeah, so that would be, the QR code would be great for that, right? They can just scan it with, and then they can pay with Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever wallet they're using for that. Like I said, with the reader, they can actually they can do that on the reader too, with Apple Pay, Google Pay, right on the top of there. So yeah, you can do a couple different things there, right? So with the biggest mistake I see, we make it so easy, right? Someone can go in here, $25, charge it, but then you don't have an item name or anything like that. So at the end of the day, like when you're looking at your sales history, right, all you're seeing is amounts versus actual items that you're selling. And so you can see here notifications, right? I got a message. This was me kind of testing our messages, right? So I sent myself a payment link. You can see here's the payment link. Go to checkout.square.site, and I send someone this link, right? I send it to them by a text. I'm on my iPhone, so Apple Pay is automatically set up there, right? Or I can go in and I can add my payment information there and pay the online rate versus the card not present rate. So lots of different ways you can take payments with Square. Lots of different ways you can do that. Invoices, again, you can do the Invoices app, right? You can just create an invoice and do that and send that to them by a message as well. There's the whole Invoices app just for that. We have folks that's all they use, right? There's an appointments app specifically for appointments, so you can see your calendars, things like that, right? As a calendar, you can sync it to your Gmail or Google Calendar there as well. A lot of different ways you can integrate, interact with that.
Well, and you mentioned integrations, so that was one of the things, because you could see that you could be taking a payment yourself, but you might be using Etsy, you might be using Shopify, because you already have a store there, and all of them have their own payment platforms. But what you could do is, I believe you can integrate Square with each of those payment platforms, correct?
Not with Shopify. Shopify is going to be like a direct competitor. Like we're essentially the same. So you wouldn't do that. It would be one or the other.
I see. Okay.
For that, we do have speaking of just like integrations, we have. Let me get into here. So we have what's called our app marketplace, and so we have integrations with lots of other third-party vendors. GoDaddy is one of the places you could build a website at GoDaddy, and you can connect Square as your payment processor. That was me doing some testing. We've got some other options here. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen.
Yeah, you're not sure. Yeah, I was like, okay, he's bringing it up. He's bringing it up. We're just waiting.
Sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen there. Okay, so yeah, you can go to the app marketplace here, right? So there's a lot of other Printful. It's like for printing shirts and things like that, right? They do that kind of all for you. You just integrate it into your site. We've got inventory integrations, a lot of other apps here. WooCommerce if you're using WordPress, MailChimp for email marketing. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot in here.
Yeah, because I was just saying, that's one of the nice things, like even if Etsy has their own, if you integrate Square, then you have all the information in one spot, right? And so you can be taking it online with Etsy, and then you can take it, then you can go right to, an art market and be selling there, and you have all that that data coming into the same spot. And so so that's one of the cool things about using Square. You can use it in a number of spots, both even off of Square and on Square as well.
Exactly, and again, having everything in the one place is crucial. So you can see here we've got like accounting, so you can connect like QuickBooks, Xero, some other accounting softwares in there to connect, and if you're using those software, so lots of other integrations, things that you can connect to within your Square account. Again, I mentioned the dashboard, right? So, and then of course all your orders would be in here everywhere. If you're getting orders from like Uber Eats or DoorDash, right? You can see all those in one place as well. These are my Square Online orders. Got some order partners here, Postmates, right? Chowly, Square Online, different places. You can see all your transactions, your customers. Reports. Again, that's going to be your data, right? This is just a test account. I don't really have a whole lot of data there. Let's see. This year, I've got some test transactions here. Right? There's my $350 payment I made on a gift card for buying a bike, just to kind of show the process. So you can see all my payments here, right? If there was any discounts, right? I did use a gift card. Or a free gift card. So essentially I comped myself for that. So it breaks down, cash, card, gift card, any other that might be, you could take a check, right? And just, we're not going to process a check, but you could take a check, and again, that would show up in your reports of all the data, that you're taking, inventory reports, right? Sales. So there's a lot of information that you can break down in there while you're doing that. So one other place I like to point people to a lot is our seller community, and that's just sellercommunity.com. And this is where I just disconnected. Wrong screen there. So this is where you can ask questions, a lot of how-tos, discussion groups. You can see some recent discussions here. We'll have like in new announcements, right? We're now doing QR codes on the back of physical gift cards. Talking about TikTok is going to be another channel that's going to be coming to Square. Like I said, Instagram, Facebook, You can connect with Pinterest, Google Shopping, TikTok will be coming as well. So and then you have your website, which again, is going to be like the center of gravity for your online, for your online presence. And then everything else are the sales channels that all feed into your website. So you have everything coming back to one central location. There was a Q&A session with one of our heads of Square Banking, obviously the new product, people talking about it, right? And then we have, you can ask questions and things like that. But really good, all of our FAQs and guides are all in there, and people just asking questions, having issues, trying to get an answer. Great resource for folks. Mark, that's about everything I have.
Okay. Well, if anybody else has any final questions, I actually just had one more question. It was about your email marketing. So I saw that you do have double opt-in because you have where people can sign up, and they have that pop up at the beginning of the website. Is that also a free service? Or do you have, because you have basically, it's a full email marketing software package in the back end, correct?
So we have an email marketing, so it's pay as you use it. So like you can add in like the newsletter sign up on your website. That's free, right? You're just collecting the email addresses. You don't pay until you actually use it. So depending on how many emails you send out, there's going to be different rates for how many you send out.
Okay.
It's really comparable to what's out there now. But yeah, so you can collect all the emails you want. If you're only sending out a little bit, it's only going to be a little, a smaller charge. Email marketing still like one of the highest return on investments that you can get. So I think, man, what were the stats recently? I just saw a marketing webinar on that. It was like for every dollar you spend on email marketing, you can expect an average return of, I believe it was $32. Might be higher than that. But again, if done right, email marketing, and certainly for most email marketing platforms, anytime you use it, you're paying maybe $20, $25, because every time you send, and if you send out to 100 folks and you're getting, $1 for, getting $32 back for every $25 you spent, that's a pretty good return on your investment. So if it's done right, and I highly always recommend doing it, it's something that can return huge dividends for you.
Yeah, and that's why we always encourage people to collect. I mean, it doesn't even have to be online, so you can have these, these collection pop-ups in other places if you have a site, or trying to collect email addresses on Facebook and everything. Obviously, double opt-in is the preferred method. But one of the things that you could also do is to be able to do it, just have a pad. If you're at a powwow, if you're at an art market or an art show, have a pad there and say, hey, would you like to join my email list, and have them write down their have them write down their name and their email address, because that is, it's powerful. It's powerful. And it's the great, because with Facebook, Instagram, all these places, you don't own that contact, right? They can throw you off of Facebook. I doubt Facebook's going out of business, but they're the ones that control that contact. But with the email, you have that one-to-one relationship with your customer, and so that's why Facebook can be so powerful with people. So
yeah, it's hugely powerful for that, and that's one thing folks get tripped up on, right? Like, I don't want to be seen as a spammer or things like that, right? You're not, right? You're asking folks, hey, is it cool if I send you something? Sign up for your email. You're not twisting their arm, right? They don't have to sign up for it. Folks know, right? If I'm going to give you my email address, I know what's going to happen. You're going to market to me. You're going to send me a newsletter about a new product release or a new sale that you're having. And by me giving you that, I'm saying, yeah, I want that, right? I don't just give anybody an email address if I don't want their info. I give it to them when I want it. So when you're asking for it and they give it to you willingly, absolutely, you're good to do that email marketing.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions, I'm actually just going to finish this up because I want to share a portion of my screen. I hope everybody can see me now. I know we only have a few people left on the call, but what I want to do is, first of all, I want to thank Martin. A great presentation. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you see the value that Square could provide your business. There was a ton of options that you could plug in, right? And so you may not want everything, but I think there's just so much there that Square offers, and they offer at such a reasonable rates, everything from free to very low cost of credit card processing. There's something that you can utilize. And I said, this is something that we utilize in our business. I did want to let you guys know about a couple of trainings that we have upcoming that will hopefully, and we talked about even in integrations, and you saw how you could have something with Square integrate with Instagram and be able to sell on Instagram. So we have our Instagram for beginners. This is coming up on Wednesday, the 22nd of September. You can register with that at ntv.bz September Social. On the 23rd, if you work with youth, we have our monthly youth entrepreneurship webinar. And so this month we're talking about improving engagement and participation with youth learners. And so that'll be coming on Thursday, September 23rd. You can register at ntv.bz/September Youth. And this is only for California folks. So I don't know if we have some California folks in the room. I see Darwin up there. I know he's in Nevada. And I know, so some of these, there may not be anybody here from California, but if you are, on Monday, they just opened up the 9th round of the California Small Business COVID-19 Relief Grant Program. They're giving away in these last 3 rounds, 7, 8, 9, $1.5 billion. And so we've been encouraging people to apply for that grant. We're having a webinar on the grant on Monday at noon, and you can register by going to ntv.bz. cacovid.com, or cacovid, not cacovid.com. But of course, if you want any of those are at our website, nativebiz.org, and we have some of our other sites here as well, our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube that you can check us out. So with that, like I said, once again, thank you to Martin. Thank you for all of you for coming. Thank you for those that stuck around. I hope you guys all rush out and get Square. If you have any questions after the class, you can reach out to Martin. You can reach out to IDRS, and we can relay that. Or if there's other things that we can answer, we'd be more than happy to do that for you. So with that, I guess I'm just going to say so long to everybody, and we'll see you hopefully next week at our next webinar.